That first slow pull, the little hit of calm that spreads through your chest. You think that feeling is modern, something the cigarette invented. It's not. People were chasing that exact feeling 12,000 years ago, by a fire, on purpose, breathing in smoke. And whether you've never touched a cigarette in your life, or there's one in your hand right now, this is about you, because the urge underneath it, to breathe something in and shift how you feel, might be one of the oldest habits our whole species has. So forget, is smoking bad? You already know that one. The real question is when it started. And the answer isn't one date, it's 3. And here's the twist. Not one of them is where it truly began. But first, let's kill the biggest myth, because almost everyone gets the beginning wrong. When you picture old school smoking, you picture a cigarette. Here's the thing, the cigarette barely counts as old. Mass-produced cigarettes are only about 150 years old. Your great-great-grandparents grew up in a world that basically didn't have them. So that pack on the shelf? Practically brand new. The ancient part is the act of breathing in smoke, and it goes back further than you'd ever guess. How far? To find out, we go to a dried-up lakebed in the Utah desert, where archaeologists dug into the ashes of a fire that went cold at the end of the Ice Age and found something nobody saw coming. 4 tiny seeds, burned black, sitting in a fire pit that's 12,300 years old. And when they tested them, tobacco, wild tobacco, which means a band of hunter-gatherers right as the last Ice Age was ending, was already using this plant. That one discovery shoved the timeline back 9,000 years past anything we'd found before. 9,000. And here's the part that hits home. They weren't eating it. Tobacco seeds are tiny and they barely burn, useless as food, so these people weren't after a snack. They were after what the plant did to their heads. 12,000 years ago, by a fire, a human being wanted to feel different and reached for a plant to get there. If that already gives you chills, drop a like. It genuinely helps this reach more people, because it gets stranger. But hold on, there's a problem with calling that smoking. Those Utah hunters might have chewed the tobacco, tucked it in a cheek. We can't be sure they lit it and breathed it in. And real smoking means something specific, burning a plant and pulling the smoke into your lungs. So when do we get rock-solid proof of that? Fire, smoke, lungs. For that, we leave the desert and climb a mountain. 10,000 feet up, in the Pamir Mountains of western China, sits a cemetery that's 2,500 years old, and inside the tombs, archaeologists found little wooden bowls packed with stones. Stones that had been scorched black. Nobody knew what they were for, until they ran the chemistry. Cannabis. The bowls were burners. You drop in hot stones, pile on the plant, and let it smolder. And this wasn't weak, wild stuff. The chemistry showed unusually high levels of THC, the part that actually changes your mind. So these people weren't burning whatever they could grab. They were picking the strong plants, on purpose. Which begs the question, why? A party? Not even close. They were doing it at funerals. The smoke wasn't for fun, it was sacred. They'd burn the cannabis as they buried their dead, fill the air with thick fumes, and let it carry them somewhere else. To grieve, to feel close to the people they'd lost. Quick question while we're here. Have you ever had a smell or a wisp of smoke drop you straight into a memory? Tell me below, because this next part is wild. There's a Greek historian named Herodotus who wrote about this almost 25 centuries ago. He described a band of nomads ducking into a small tent, throwing hemp onto red-hot stones and howling with delight as the fumes filled the space. For thousands of years, people assumed he'd made it up. A traveler's tall tale. Then those burners turned up in the mountains, and suddenly the old man was telling the truth. And that's where this stops being a history lesson and starts being about you. Look at the pattern. People in the Americas, people in the mountains of Asia, separated by whole oceans, by thousands of years, with no way to reach each other. And all of them, on their own, landed on the same discovery. Burn this plant. Breathe it. Your mind changes. Sit with what that means. This isn't a trick one culture invented and handed around. It's something humans keep stumbling onto again and again, all over the planet. And that points straight at the real answer to our question. It's not 12,000 years. It's older, a lot older. Here's what those seeds in those bowls are really telling us. 12,000 years, 2,500 years. Those are just the oldest scraps we've managed to dig out of the ground. The true beginning is almost certainly way further back, and we'll probably never pin the exact day, because it didn't take a cemetery or a special plant. It took two things: fire and a human paying attention. Think about it. The moment our ancestors controlled fire, they started burning plants for warmth, for cooking, to drive off bugs. And somewhere in there, some curious person leaned a little too close to the smoke of the right plant, breathed in, and felt their head go soft and strange. That was the start. Not a date you can circle on a calendar, a feeling somebody chased. And the first smoker in history wasn't an addict with a bad habit. They were a person doing the most human thing there is, noticing the world, prodding at it, and reaching for a new way to feel. So, when did we really start? The honest answer is, just about as soon as we could. And that pull you feel toward a cigarette, a vape, a little ritual to take the edge off, isn't some modern flaw. It's an ancient inheritance, wired into one of the oldest drives we've got. The need to change how we feel. If that just rearranged something in your head, hit subscribe. This whole channel is about the hidden machinery behind the things you do every day, and you won't want to miss what's next, and about that ancient drive to feel different. The reason your brain reaches for these little rituals goes deeper than you think. That's the one I want you to watch next. I'll see you there.